Robb Elementary survivor, Mr. Arnulfo Reyes feels abandoned. There are times when Arnulfo Reyes, 46, a survivor of the Robb Elementary tragedy, will be doing a routine task like housework when a wave of grief washes over him and stops him in his tracks. 10 months after he sustained multiple life-threatening gunshot wounds, his struggles to regain mental and physical health, as one of the few survivors of the two classrooms where an 18-year-old dropout unleashed a barrage of gunfire, are often overwhelming. Some days I'm just cleaning, or I'm doing something, and I'll see a color, and I'm like, oh, Jackie Cazares would have loved that. It's purple, or whatever. I'll just sit down, cry about it. Let it all out, said Reyes, speaking about the state of his life after the shooting. He was the sole survivor of his classroom 111, in which 11 students died. Reyes said his recovery has been made more difficult by a lack of support from Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District. The only contact he has had from UCISD since the shooting, he said, were 2 brief phone calls, each lasting fewer than 5 minutes, from Interim Superintendent Gary Patterson. The lack of connection from the district has left him feeling as if there is no investment in his recovery, Reyes said. He also said his workers' compensation has not covered all of his physical therapy, and they have only paid for a portion of his doctor-prescribed treatments. Reyes attends counseling weekly for emotional support, but says Uvalde can be lonely, with no one able to relate to his struggles in his specific situation. He doesn't think he will move away. Sometimes I wish I could, just to get away from everything, Reyes said. But I think, no matter where I go, it's going to be with me. Since the tragedy, which claimed the lives of 19 students and 2 teachers on May 24, 2022, during the last week of school before summer break, Reyes has been creating small gifts for the victims' graves and memorials. While he is making holiday decorations for them, he says, he will often talk to the children and it helps with the grief and keeping their memories alive. When he passes their portrait murals, he is happy to see their faces. I'm glad they are there, Reyes said, adding he does not want the children to be forgotten. But then, I remember the good and the bad part, I guess I would say. I'm glad that I get to see their faces, but sometimes it's a little too much. His physical recovery includes surgeries and occupational and rehabilitative therapy. His left forearm contains a titanium rod connecting his elbow to his wrist, filling in where bone used to be before it was shattered. He is still trying to rebuild muscle, so he can use his hand. Reyes said he doesn't feel comfortable driving and is dependent on friends, family members, and DoorDash for his day-to-day living and for any trips he has to make. Every day I wake up, and I look at my arm, and sometimes it's like, okay, I gotta go conquer the world. But there's some days I'm like, I can't freaking do anything. I can't do anything, Reyes said. On other days, he struggles with the fear of abandonment, an issue he says is caused by being trapped in his classroom waiting for the police. I thought the cops were coming to save us. When I didn't hear them, I thought they abandoned us. Sometimes I feel like I am a kindergartner. Mom, don't leave me here, Reyes said. He is not sure if he will return to teaching in the future, but he has been following the push by some school districts to arm teachers, which he says is just adding another job to the teachers list. Reyes recently spoke at gun violence rally in Austin and said he hopes to attend more for his students. When I did my first interview, I remember saying, I will do anything, so they won't die in vain. And so that's my drive behind it. I will not let them die in vain. I'll go as many times as I can, Reyes said. He hopes Uvalde will observe Gun Violence Prevention Month, set in June, and he plans to place orange flags along the downtown square as part of the remembrance of the tragedy. We pray and hope for the best to you, Mr. Reyes.